Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystallynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, and I want to say hello. I am back, and I want to thank you all. If you have sent me emails and messages that you missed me, I have been absent from YouTube since my last video. I believe I did right before my birthday in early September, and I had to take a break for family reasons. I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight, a little update about what's going on, and also talk a little bit about what's going on in the astrology. I am kind of whispering right now because I am in Marietta, California. I'm not out here in my ranch, but I am in a track home area, and there's people on both sides, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't sleep tonight. I was thinking about you guys, and I've been thinking so much about all of the amazing and incredible and intense things that have been going on. And the longer I was taking to not get back on and do a video, the harder it was becoming. So I'm back tonight. I've decided to make this video and update you guys and share with you a little bit about what's going on in my life, what's been going on up in the sky, and how these things can relate to you. So, again, I want to thank you guys so much for your messages. And I am back, and I will be back on my channel, but I had to take a break. The last video I did, if you guys want to check it out, I talked a lot about what was going on up in the sky in regards to my own personal life. I have been lit up like a Christmas tree astrologically. I was getting ready to enter my Mars return, also my Jupiter return, and at the time, the sun was in Virgo, which I'm a Virgo, and I believe my Mercury return. It was just like my whole entire life was coming around full circle, and I was excited. I was anticipating what the heck is going to happen, and so I really could have never anticipated what has happened. But I'm going to share with you guys a little bit tonight about what I've been going through. On September 5th, the night before my birthday, I woke up to a very strange dream. In my dream, I was dreaming that I was doing a reading, and I had my computer on a bed. And as I was doing the reading, in the background, my mother was behind me sleeping on this bed. And I was trying to juggle my reading and my mother, but she was sleeping peacefully behind me. But it was a little odd in my dream because, that you wouldn't think that would be, too professional to be trying to do a reading with somebody sleeping in the background. So it woke me up. And it woke me up about 4 a.m. in the morning. And I actually woke up. It was just, I couldn't shake the dream. It was just really a powerful dream. Little did I know at that exact time that I was having that dream, my mother was in an ambulance going to the hospital after a broken hip. She had called me about 8 a.m. in the morning. I'd gone back to bed, but got a call from her at 8 a.m. that she was in Baldwin Park at Kaiser with a broken hip. So, right away, I was just in shock that I'd had this dream. And I didn't know at that time that I would be taking care of my mother full time. And it's been about 7 weeks now that I have had to take care of my mother. From the broken hip, she ended up having a series of health problems that were very serious and really faced almost losing her life several times. I mean, literally in my hands. The broken hip brought on pneumonia. She ended up needing a blood transfusion, and it escalated from there. Um, and she needed full-time care. Now, I talk a lot about our Mars return. If you come to me in my readings, my favorite thing to talk about is your Mars return. Your Mars return will happen approximately every 2 years. And that is when Mars, up in the sky, will be in conjunction with your natal Mars, where Mars was when you were born. So I was born with Mars in Leo. And as this was happening, Mars was entering Leo. So, talk a lot about during your Mars return, many incredible things can happen. Because Mars is powerful and aggressive, the universe will give us this powerful energy and often lasts about 8 weeks, like steroids from heaven, and allows us to really rise and do things that maybe we're not empowered to do any other time. Your Mars return will also often put you on track if you've been off track. And sometimes it will, open amazing doors if you've been waiting for a job. Sometimes it brings in the love of your life. And sometimes it puts you in a position that you have to step up and do something very brave that you've never done before. And so when my mother ended up going through this cycle of events that she's still going through, we are in recovery, but we've had a lot of setbacks because the energy up in the sky has been very erratic. We also went through a Mercury retrograde. But my mother is also a Virgo, and I'm a Virgo. So you guys know that we are in this really intense Virgo energy. We've had Venus, Mars, and Jupiter conjunct, and we're on the cusp of the North Node moving into Virgo, which has not happened for 18 years, since 1997. Now, the North Node's changing will affect people differently. But if you are a Virgo, it can rock your world. In 1997, 2 months before the North Node moved into Virgo, and during my first Saturn return in Aries, my father passed away. And so as we were getting ready to enter this North Node, I really have to be honest, I've been a little nervous. As an astrologer, we see things that we often don't want to see. And I was really worried about what would transpire in my life. And when my mother really injured herself and the series of events has happened since then, I worried, and I've been worried that, I might lose my mother. I'm having a little more honest conversation with you guys tonight because, we come on and we talk about the great things and all of the energy, but sometimes the cycles of life can be scary. Sometimes the cycles of life can be confusing. But knowing what I know, I was able to really embrace the power of my Mars return. It enabled me to step up and take care of my mother. It's interesting because my mother is also born with Saturn in Aries. So I was born during her first Saturn in Aries return. So if you have a child that's born during your Saturn return, or a parent that you were born during their Saturn return, a lot of times you will go through many of the same trials and similar cycles as they do. You will have a different connection than any of the other siblings. And my mother and I have always been really close. She is also a Virgo. So we've understood each other. She's been someone, I have to say, that's been there for me. That's been one of my greatest advocates in life. I've been grateful that I've had somebody that I could go to, even if it's just one person. Sometimes, you guys, it is just one person that doesn't judge you, that knows your heart in spite of the ups and downs that you go through, that believes in you. And so here, this person that's always been there for me suddenly is in a position that she needed me. You know, it's hard. And all of us are in different cycles. I know I'm talking about my mother today, but sometimes we have someone in our life that we always see as fearless, that we see as untouchable. And suddenly they're facing very fearful things. And during this cycle that I thought was going to be this big, grandiose Mars and Leo cycle, I ended up finding out something about the inside of me. I ended up finding out something about who I was, a strength that I didn't know I have until it was challenged beyond belief. And I was able to step up and focus and see what the most important thing in my life has been. And that's to be there for someone that needed me, and it's been a tough time because my family and I have had to juggle, Saturn and Scorpio, and I know I talked a lot about that, brought up a lot of deep emotional issues, family issues, sibling issues, betrayal issues. And so there was a lot of areas in my life that, I had unresolved, that I was left kind of just hanging with as Saturn moved out of Scorpio. And when this storm hit my family, the storm hit my mother, something very powerful happened. We were able to really enter into this tunnel of light in the middle of it and hold each other and encourage each other. There were times that my mother faced, really faced death several times. And I had to be there. I had to see that. I had to embrace that part of life as well. And I also was able to see the power of love, the power of prayer, the power of our words, the power of not giving up, the power of a touch, and that it can bring back life. And so I've been in this very, very deep time. And it's been a time that my mother and I, that we would have never had before, just because life wouldn't have allowed it, that her and I have been able to heal many, many past issues, things that we've been able to talk and laugh. And my mother has given me the greatest gift during this time of seeing how fragile life can be, but also seeing the strength and determination and the survival of the human heart. So, we all want and we all talk about, wanting these great things in life and opportunities, being happy. And happiness is really a happening. There's moments, there's times. It's really just an illusion almost, because the richness and the fulfillment of life comes with dealing in the truth, comes with dealing with we are very important. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been in this time that I've been embracing the deep cycles of life. As the North Node moves into Virgo as we speak, this happens approximately every 18 months. And it has not happened for 18 years, since 1997. Those of you who are Virgos are going to feel this the most. And it can rock your world. I'm not going to tell you any different. But I'm going to tell you that this power and this energy can take you to a whole nother level in your life, a whole nother understanding. Right now, as we speak, we have Venus, Mars, and Jupiter in the North Node in Virgo, moving into Virgo. And this is about dealing with those areas in our life that are broken. A lot of people are kind of unsure about Virgos because they've got this, stigma of the perfectionist and, the obsessive compulsive, and nobody can please them. But what you have to understand is, we're the healers of the earth, and we see the things that are broken, and we have the ability to mend them, to fix them. A lot of times in life, we keep going and we keep going, and we're not dealing with the things that are broken. When my mother broke her hip, Saturn had just moved into Sagittarius. Now remember, Sagittarius rules hips. So that was, kind of an uncanny coincidence. And, she had to really look at her body and look at herself. Each part of her body wanted to break down. But being that I have the gift and the energy of the Virgo, we were able to take one issue on at a time. I was able to see a part of me that I didn't really know I had. All the skills that I've ever learned in my whole life, I have had to use on a very intense level, down to giving medications, dealing with oxygen, dealing with, oh gosh, so many things, you guys. I mean, the depth of what's transpired is hard to put in a whole video. But the point is, we're given what we need at the time that we need it. And I needed this healing with my mother. Unfortunately, it took a storm. It took a difficult situation to bring us together, to accomplish that. During my Mars return, I got the greatest gift of all. And I hear from a lot of people, and I'm alone, and life is so terrible, and life is so difficult, and nobody's here for me. But sometimes in life you have to find your inner strength. You have to see the good, and you have to find the richness in life that comes from really experiencing the valuable things in life. And there's nothing more valuable than facing death to understand life. And the beautiful news, the good news, is that I have been in my Jupiter return. I was born with Jupiter in Virgo. As we speak, right this second, Jupiter is at 15 degrees, exact conjunction with the Jupiter that I was born with at 15 degrees. And it has protected me. It has been like a guardian angel. It has given me this ability to see a bigger picture. It has given me the ability to touch and heal, to speak words of encouragement, to see things that I might not have normally seen, giving me that detailed eye not to miss one thing, which was required for my mother's health. And it's just been a life-changing experience for me. So I wanted to come on tonight and just give you guys a little update. The good news is my mother's doing much better. We're finally moving into the time now of recovery, and pray for us that we don't hit any more setbacks. We've had quite a few, but I've never seen a more stronger woman. I've seen my mother rise like the phoenix. I've seen her face some scary moments, but I've also seen what loyalty is. I've also seen what courage is. And those are the qualities I want to embody. You know, in life, it's not about how much we have and how many friends we have and how popular we are. It's about those intimate and close and real people in our life that bring out the best in us. Sometimes we only have a few, but cherish those people. As we move into the North Node in Virgo, I'll be talking a lot about it. But this is a year that's going to have us looking at our health and looking at the things that are broken and focusing on it and allowing them to heal and mend. During the storm, I was able to heal with my mother a lot of deep, dark psychological things that came up during Saturn and Scorpio that I didn't know if I'd ever get to really find resolve about. So during my Mars return and during this amazing transformation in my life, I was able to go deep within and heal from the inside out. Not just finding things on the outside to make me feel okay on the inside, but to really find who I am on the inside. And to me, that's the greatest gift of all. To be able to see, to be able to have awareness, to be able to have perception, and to be able to really rise and appreciate the little things, the little details. So I want to tell you guys, I'm coming back. I have a special surprise for you guys tomorrow here on my channel. So be watching for my upload tomorrow. And I'm going to be sharing a more intimate side of my life, a more real side. I think it's important because for us to grow, we have to be real. We have to be authentic. Saturn in Sagittarius is helping us all right now find our inner teacher, bring out the masters in us. I had to use skills the last 7 weeks that I didn't even know I had, but they were developed in me a long time ago for a time such as this, to help somebody else get through a time that, was very difficult and very scary. It's about inner connection and inner exchange, and I'm finding that in my life right now. And I think that makes me really a whole person, a part of me that I was missing. And so I'm still in it, but I am here. I am available for readings. I will be here working at my mother's house, helping her, and allows me to open up for readings again. And I'm excited to share with you guys. I'm excited to help you through this because remember, we're going through some changes right now. And they're going to rock everybody's world. So if you're in those times and you want to go deep, you know where to find me, cowgirlastrologer.com. Love you guys, and I look forward to everything that's coming our way. We got to do this together, you guys. So thank you for listening, and we'll be talking soon.